so another episode of the Light It Up Sports Podcast. Today we have on class of 2024 Georgetown Hoyas commit Caleb Williams. I'm super excited to have him on the show. We're going to get to talk about his recruitment before his commitment, why he chose Georgetown. He's actually a reigning EYBL Team Takeover champion. We're going to get to talk about the EYBL season and stuff like that. But I guess we'd probably just start off with the Team Takeover Championship. You know, we just had on Garrett Sudra. We've had on Isaiah Abraham. We've had on some of those DMV Team Takeover guys. And you guys just won the EYBL 17U championship. How was this whole season for you? And describe that feeling when you guys did win the championship.
No, this season has definitely been big for me and this group of guys. Half of the team won it last year with 16U, and then the other half came up short in the championship game. So just, we had a rocky start, but we just had to, put it together. We hadn't practiced much before that first session, but once we sort of got into our flow and started buying into the coaching staff and what they had talked to us about, it became a lot easier, and I couldn't want to do it with any other group.
Mm-hmm. And, other than obviously winning the championship at the end of the season, are there any moments that you would consider your favorites or any other moments that stuck out to you and that, you'll remember throughout your collegiate career from the Team Takeover season?
Definitely. This year, I want to say, not just because we won it, but the championship game, that's going to stick with me forever. I'm not sure if you watched, but I got hurt in the third game. Peace had to sit out a couple of games, came back for the playoffs. Not 100%, but felt like I was able to, give it a chance. Given that it's my last EYBL, last AAU tournament. In that last game, I sort of retweaked my knee, and I had to make a tough decision to, sit out. And it was hard to watch, just not being able to battle out there with my guys. But the way that they fought, it was amazing. It's something that I'll never forget. And I'm so happy that, my brothers were able to get that done and, just let me feel that feeling, even though I'm not able to be out there with them that last game.
Yeah, and playing EYBL and even where you play in high school with Sidwell Friends, you face some of the best competition in the country for the high school age group, especially with DMV being kind of a basketball hotbed nowadays. But if you had to choose one or maybe a couple players that you faced during the EYBL season that were just really hard to guard or really hard to keep from scoring and really hard to play against, who would those guys be?
I'm not sure his name. I'm pretty sure he's committed to Nebraska or Wisconsin, one of those red Big Ten schools.
Okay.
But he played with Phenom U, really good player. He number 33, I believe. He gave us trouble for sure. That game went into double OT. But yeah, he gave us trouble for sure.
Gotcha. And let's talk a little bit about high school. I mean, Sidwell Friends High School, you guys are Sports Center Next state champion winners. I know that you had a lot of talent on that team. Obviously, you guys are losing Cam Gillius, who is, I believe, going to Lehigh. We recently had Jalen Rozier-Rowan on the show. He talked to us about that state championship, but lots of talent returning. But how's this season for you, your junior year, and that state championship?
The junior year, man, I loved it. It was tough in the beginning, sort of like UIBL. We got off to a rocky start. I wasn't fully healthy, in the beginning of the year. But once we were able to come together, string together a really good week of practice after Christmas, it started to click for us. Everybody got healthy. And we were just able to click on all cylinders. So that junior season was definitely special. My guys like Cam Gillis and the rest of the seniors, me and Cam grew up playing together. We've been on the same team since 5th grade. So just being able to win as much as we did, along with one of my childhood friends that I consider my brother now, it was real special.
Yeah, and when it comes to previewing your senior year, your final year of high school basketball, what are you working on when it comes to your game during the summer, and what can we expect from Sidwell Friends next season?
Me personally, I'm just been sharpening up my skills. I'm just standing in the gym, being consistent, getting shots up, working on some ball handling stuff. But I feel like the biggest jump for me this summer that I've made is just continuing to develop my body, more so focusing on my mobility and flexibility. I feel like that will be able to, help me move a lot better when it comes time for the season. As far as the season, man, I got big expectations. We lost 5 seniors. So it's gonna be really hard to build back on that losing 5 key guys. But I feel like we got the team to do it, the talent to do it, the coaching staff to do it, and that culture to do it. So I feel like it'll be a really good season, and hopefully, we can win as much as we did last year, if not more.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, like, as you said, you guys won a lot of games last year. You won a lot of games with Team Takeover, and with those wins, came a boost up in your recruitment before your commitment. Um, but being and playing in the DMV, what did it mean for you for schools like Maryland and Virginia Tech and other DMV schools in Georgetown to give you an offer, talk to you and recruit you throughout that whole process?
So the local recruiting colleges, like you said, Maryland, Georgetown, UVA, Virginia Tech, those schools that aren't too far, they reached out big time. Georgetown, before Cooley got there, I got an offer from them, but our relationship wasn't the best.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really considering Georgetown. But once Coach Cooley got there and he made me feel like a priority early on, I decided to give it a try. I took an unofficial, and then took an official visit not too long after that. And then by the time that official visit was over, I was sort of like, this is what I want to be and this is what I want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we should definitely talk on that too, because I think just like you said, how you weren't considering Georgetown until Cooley got there. I think when they did make that coaching staff change, I think people thought maybe the opposite for your recruitment, that, oh, they're changing the coaching staff, not going to have many guys commit there. But we've seen it with Kayvon already, and we've seen it with Thomas Sorber, and we've seen it with you, that Ed Cooley came in right away and he made a relationship with all these guys. And now he has, in my opinion, a top 2024 commitment class. Um, how did that relationship start off for you? And as you said, I mean, you weren't really considering Georgetown until then, but describe your relationship with Coach Cooley.
Our relationship with Coach Cooley, man, ever since the first day I started talking to him, I got on the phone with him. It's been growing ever since. He's a really big relationship guy, and that was big for me. To play with a coaching staff that I had a really good connection with, not just assistants, but the head coach. And I pretty much knew from day one. I talked to a lot of guys that he's coached at Providence before about him. And from what I know and what I've heard, what you see is what you get. And he's a really loving guy. He's gonna be hard on you when he needs you to play and perform, but he's gonna be there to love you up right after. And it's all love with him. I kind of knew what coach I was getting into. On my first call, he just, we talked. But he said one thing. It was just like, I can't wait to see you. I just want to give you a hug. Like, I want to let you know, like, our relationship is going to be big time. And I really want you to come play for me. And from that conversation on, I know I was like, okay, I'm going to give Georgetown a chance, and I'm going to give this coaching staff a chance.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so if you had to put it in your own words for Georgetown basketball fans, what kind of player are the Hoyas getting when it comes to that 2024 class in you?
Um, I would say a versatile, tough competitor that can do a lot of things offensively, but also guard positions 1 through 4. But my biggest thing that I really want Georgetown to know about me is I'm a winner, and I want to do anything I can to win. That's aside from obviously I want to have a great college career myself, but I want to be able to do the things that are going to help the team win, because I love winning. The feeling is second to none, and to be able to have done on the high school level at the highest level, I want to be able to do it at Georgetown at the college level. Winning Big East, hopefully get a national championship. I just want to be able to do it up to the highest I can to help Georgetown get back to what it used to be.
Yeah, and I would like to say I'm a huge fan of college basketball in general, but when it comes to my team, I tend to root for Syracuse. So I figured
Ah,
I know.
ah.
I was kind of hoping we would land a commitment from you, but I have to ask you about this. Now that you're committed to Georgetown, I mean, they have a lot of competitive rivalries. Basically, any school in the DMV they consider a rivalry, but with that Syracuse Georgetown rivalry brewing for a long time, I mean, the past decade or so, how
Yeah.
are you looking forward to that matchup either in New York or DC? And what do you know about the history of those two programs facing each other?
Man, the history of Syracuse and Georgetown, big time basketball schools. I'm really excited to uh, be able to play against Syracuse, whether it's at home in DC, whether it's in Syracuse. I'm just looking forward to high level competitiveness, especially because my guy Donnie's over there now. So I can't. We've been talking about it ever since I committed. But no, yeah, I just can't wait to become a part of that big time rivalry.
Yeah, that was literally the next thing I had jotted down. Playing alongside a Syracuse commit and Donovan Freeman, I would imagine there's some talk going on between you guys, jokingly, but kind of on a serious note once you guys do get to that collegiate level. But you're also going to see a lot of your fellow teammates. You got Isaiah Abraham, he just committed to UConn. Well, when it comes to Team Takeover teammates, Patrick Ngongwa is leveling up in the recruitment. We just had Garrett Sundra on yesterday or a couple days ago. So you're going to see a lot of your Team Takeover teammates. But how would you say that feeling's going to be for you once you step onto the collegiate court and you're going to see guys you've already played with?
I kind of get a sense of it in the DMV.
Yeah.
We play a lot of high level teams that end up being my teammates on Team Takeover. But I just can't wait to compete against guys like that who I've known basically all my life. Going into the college level, especially Don. Donnie's one of my closest friends, and he tried hard to get me to Syracuse. And I was gonna take a visit there a little later on down the road, but Georgetown sort of just swept me off my feet, and I fell in love with it. But no, I'm definitely looking forward to playing against anybody who I've grown up with, whether it's high school or AAU team. I'm looking forward to competing.
Yeah, and when you look at, I know I mentioned these two guys earlier, but other 2024 commits, Thomas Sorber, the top big man in the class, and Kayvon Mulready, who was committed to Providence, decommitted, and then he picked Georgetown. I messaged a little bit with Kayvon about why he flipped his commitment, and it's the same thing. Just his relationship with Cooley after he decommitted just went skyrocketed. So I think Georgetown basketball fans, I don't think I just am saying this. I think you guys definitely have something to look forward to when it comes to your recruitment and your playing level, because Ed Cooley is doing something amazing in DC right now when it comes to building relationships with guys and stuff like that. But have you gotten the chance? I'm assuming you have, but have you gotten the chance to kind of talk to Thomas Sorber and Kayvon Mulready, about future playing at Georgetown?
Yeah, for sure. Kayvon and Thomas, as soon as I dropped that I was committed there, they reached out, I reached back. Me and Kayvon, we're cool. Like we talked a good amount. Thomas, I was talking to him a little bit up at Peace Jam. But no, yeah, that class, and I'm excited, especially with Drew, Drew McKenna that committed there. Me and Drew go way back, like way back. So, I'm just excited for that class to really get to the college level, being able to play with each other. I think we got what it takes to be really good. So I'm just excited. And to touch on what you said about Cooley, I think he's I've been recruited by a lot of coaches in the nation. It's different. It feels different when Cooley's reaching out, because you can sort of tell or get that feeling that you're getting what he's portraying to you on your visits and stuff like that. So anybody that's looking to come to Georgetown or anything, like he really predicates himself on his relationships with his players. So that's definitely something that stands out.
Yeah, well, I think that about wraps it up. Caleb, I appreciate for coming on. Make sure you guys go check out all of his socials, our socials down below. Go drop him a follow. But I appreciate for coming on, and I'm excited to watch you versus Syracuse when it does come to that time in college.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.